What is going on, my dudes? Sasha here, back again with another Genshin Impact video, and today we are going to be talking about Miss Yae Miko, one of my favorite units in the game, or characters in the game, and we're going to be talking about how you, that's right, you can build her. Now, before we get into that, let me go ahead and just say, I'm not the best at builds, but I love showing off my builds because some people say, like, builds are a lot of fun. And it looks like you guys want to see what I do for my characters, so we're going to go ahead and show that off. Also, don't forget to check out today's sponsor, which is Gamer Subs. That's right, the new Heart Racer Cup is out right now, and make sure you get yours with code INFANTRY to get 10% off. But I'm going to go ahead and stop plugging the sponsors for now, and let's go ahead and dive right into the character. Now, as you can see right here, we have Miss Yae Miko, or Guji Miko, or Guji Yae, however you want to say it. She's actually, I believe, the second character I have triple crowned because I really love her as a character. I love women that'll tease me a little bit, and there's no denying that she's good at it. We've seen her how she reacts to Goro, and yeah, I just really love this character. And I think my Yae Miko is actually really, really good personally, especially the fact that I have triple crowned her. But let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing I want to cover is the fact that I do have her at C1. So this isn't a normal showcase for a C0. The reason why I have a C1 is because when she first came out, I pulled two of her in one multi, which was really, really, really crazy. I didn't expect it. So that is why this Yae Miko is C1. So bear in mind, this is with the each time Great Secret Art Tendo Kenshin activates a Thunderbolt, Yae Miko will restore 8 elemental energy. So my Yae Miko is already cracked when it comes to energy recharge in that sense. So let's go ahead and dive in. So as you can see right here, my Yae Miko is at a 49 to 230. I have made sure that this girl is stacked, okay? And energy recharge is pretty high as is with 153, so my burst comes back very, very quickly. She's mainly focusing on attack, crit damage, and all that stuff. So, weapon, I do have Kagura's Verity, which is her best in-slot weapon, of course, because that's the one that came out with her. It makes sense that it's going to be her best in-slot weapon. I have it at 90-90. I really, ultimately, I just really wanted this weapon because, again, I was a sucker for Yae Miko. Both her and Ganyu have the weapons that they need. But if you don't have Kagura's Verity, a good 5-star alternative is, of course, the Skyward Atlas. As you can see right here, increases elemental damage by 12%. Normal attacks hit have a 50% chance to earn a favor of the clouds, which actively seek out nearby opponents to attack for 15 seconds. Dealing 160% attack damage can only occur once every 30 seconds, which is not bad. You're boosting that attack percentage as well. Very solid option. If you're looking for 4 stars, obviously the Wit Sith is great because of the crit damage and its ability as well. And then you could also use the weapon Oath Sworn Eye. Increases energy recharge by 48% for 10 seconds after using an elemental skill, and you're boosting that attack. As you can see, mine is very low. I need to make sure to fix it up. But Yae Miko has a good solid set of weapons. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the artifacts. Now, here is where mine differs from the norm, because a lot of people would say, Taisha, why didn't you do a two-piece of, you know, Thundering Fury and Glad, or Thundering Fury and Shinanawa's? I went with as much attack as I humanly possibly can when I first built this, and I have not looked back. I probably could, honestly, change it to where I'm doing two-piece Thundering Fury instead, which would not be a bad idea. It's her best slots. However, this has still worked wonders for me, and I can honestly suggest it. A lot of other ones that you could do is you could do a 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate. You could do a 4-piece Tenacity, I think it is. Yes, Tenacity. I have my notes over here. And then you could also use a 4-piece Thunder Soothers on top of that. But this is also a solid option as well. Yae Miko's options for being able to do stuff is pretty widespread. Now, when you're focusing on your artifacts, you want to make sure, obviously, that, you know, your easiest artifacts are going to be the Feather and the Flower. Again, you want to focus mainly crit rate, crit damage at the start, attack percentage, and then energy recharge, and then possibly elemental mastery. Let me double check my notes here. I just want to make sure. Yeah, so elemental mastery is going to be one of those ones that you don't want to focus too heavily on, so that's why it's number 5. And then obviously crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, energy recharge up in the front. That's the biggest ones that you want to focus on. So as you can see, I did very well on my feather and my flower. The only thing that kind of sucked was with this one was the HP percentage, but I still did really, really well with them. Now, for your sands, you want to focus solely as your main stat as attack percentage. Now, this one could be a lot better, I'll be honest. But it still wasn't terrible because we did get a little bit of that elemental mastery, which again is not entirely needed for this, but still kind of works out. I honestly am thinking about redoing that just because I want to see what I could do with a better sands. For my cup, obviously it's electro damage, and this one rolled almost perfectly, as you can see, with 27% crit damage, and then obviously it rolled, I think, twice into elemental mastery, which kind of sucks, but oh well. You know, it is what it is. And then, of course, for your circlet, you want to either focus on crit rate or crit damage. Okay. You want to focus on crit rate or crit damage depending on what you need. Now, I'm of the mindset that either 45 to 50% crit rate is perfectly fine and you'll do great with it. You don't need to go that much higher. So I went with crit damage, and it sucks because I didn't get any crit rate. But I could redo this and redo that to get a little bit more crit rate and go past that 50%. Now, talent priority. I honestly think that if you're going to look at your talent priorities, you want to focus on your skill and your burst equally, because you're going to be using them in tandem with each other consistently. So they need to be your forefront. When it comes to your normal attack, you don't need to entirely worry about it, but it's still worth noting that it works really well. So I would say, if anything, you have to make equal priority of your skill and burst, because again, like I said, you're going to be using them consistently together, and it doesn't make any sense to power up one without the other. So I would say equal to both on these, and then normal attack is whatever. Now, of course, ascending her is great because your first ascension is this one, the Shrine's Sacred Shade, with casting Great Secret Art Tenko Kenshin. Each Sensho Sakura destroyed resets the cooldown of one charge of Yakan. So that's the first ascension that I was talking about, where you lay down all three, and then you could use your burst, and then it resets again, and you could use all three again. So the reason why I say to do all three, then burst, then do it again, is because when you lay down three, your burst is going to hit 3 thunderbolts after the initial thunderbolt on an enemy. So you're hitting 4 in total, because each of your totems that come out are going to cause that damage, and then you reset again, and it's perfect. Now, this one, Enlightened Blessing. Every point of Elemental Mastery Yae Miko possesses will increase Sensho Sakura damage by 0.15%. I don't think this is a necessity, and that's why I said Elemental Mastery. Not that big a deal. You can build her Elemental Mastery-wise, but in all honesty, I don't think it's entirely needed. But it's not a bad build. And then we already know this one for the character talent material, so we don't need to worry about that. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the team I am going to showcase here. This team that I'm showcasing is obviously like a Electro Burst team with Aggravate. Now, that's why I have Nahida, because Nahida actually boosted a lot of units because of what she could do. And Yae Miko's no exception, because again, you're going to be causing that Quicken and Aggravate and all that stuff. So now, I have Raiden Shogun as my main DPS because I think that she's going to work better in that main DPS slot, while Yae Miko works best in an off-field. And Kujo Sara works to help boost up that electro damage and boost your attack. So it's really, really cool to see this team in action. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of show off. We're going to go. Why am I doing it like that? Hold on. We're going to show off here. Now, again, this isn't going to be exactly like the best showcase, but this is going to show you what these characters can do together to cause a lot of damage. So we're going to go to Marumusa, you know, the Kairagi guy over here. Now, the only thing that sucks about this team is that we don't have a healer. I would use Bennett, but Bennett's going to turn everything into pyro damage, and I'm not trying to do that. This is just to kind of showcase the damage output for now. I'm not really worried about healing. I just want to show what these characters can do together. Shall we spar? Yes, let's go. All right. So first things first, lay down your totems.
Right here.
Then get that going. Nahida, no. Get that. Now, see those totems doing damage? Now, as you can see, we're gonna lay down the totems again.
There is no escape.
Now, look, I don't even have to really do much with the totems. Now, he's gonna reset. There we go. Now, let's get the totems again.
Right now.
And
Nothing
boom.
lasts forever.
Now, see, watch. 1, 2, 3. Right after the initial. Now, that just goes to show what this team can do now that Nahida's out and Yae Miko works with Nahida so well. If that doesn't give you a reason to get Yae Miko, like, ASAP, I don't know what will. Like, honestly, I think that, and this isn't me trying to be egotistical about my Yae Miko, but I feel like when everybody was talking crap about how bad Yae Miko is, they didn't know how to use her. And Yae Miko is great for that off-field DPS, and as you just saw, even without the Elemental Mastery built with her, she still freaking slaps as that off-field DPS, especially in this team with Raiden Shogun and Nahida. Now, obviously, I'm going to tell you that I like Yae Miko, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat, or that. I don't know if sugarcoat's the best way. I'm not going to hide that I thirst a little bit for Yae Miko, but I think that people should give her a chance. So, with her banner coming out this Friday, please make sure, if you're going to summon on her. Don't summon on Chop. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. Honestly, I think you guys got a good taste of what Yae Miko could do, so we're going to go ahead and cut it here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, we will see you in the next video. Please take care and be safe, y'all.